Paris is currently hosting the third Esports World Cup, at which thousands of competitors are vying for 25 titles in 24 esports. The sports in question demand cognitive ability more than sporting prowess, but they are hugely popular among fans, with streamed competitions drawing large numbers online. There is $75 million in prize money at this year's tournament, much of it financed by Saudi Arabia, where the first two Esports World Cups took place and which was also due to host this year's edition, only for it to be moved to Paris because of security fears over the US-Iran war. And for more on this, I can welcome Nicolas Besombes, who is Assistant Professor of Sports Sociology at the Institute of Sport and Health at Paris Cité University. Good morning, Nicolas, and thank you very much for joining us. This is only the third Esports World Cup, and there's already a lot of prize money up for grabs, $75 million this year. Is this a real growth sector within sport?
Yeah, so first of all, thank you very much for having me this morning. So yeah, esports is a huge phenomenon since now 25 years. It's growing regarding all the different criteria that we can take regarding the audiences, regarding the economical aspects. Everything is growing up for esports and gaming in general since now 20 years. We are speaking about an industry for gaming that is evaluated to $200 billion internationally. There are now 3 billion of people that are playing games regularly, and we are speaking about something like 300 millions or 350 millions of people that are esports enthusiasts that are watching gaming and competition of gaming every month. So it's a huge industry that now is bigger than the music industry and the movie industry merged together.
Now, there will be undoubtedly many fans of traditional sports who are dismissive of suggestions that playing computer games might be considered a sport. But many sports clubs, including football clubs, have begun to form their own esports sections. So what value do sports clubs see in this new area?
Actually, there are many opportunities for sports clubs, should it be football clubs or basketball clubs or hockey clubs, to invest in esports. They are looking to attract new audiences, new practitioners like millennials or Gen Z or Gen Alpha, for example. It's also a new opportunity to create economical partnerships with new sponsors, for example. It's also a new way to make the promotion of their own sport, their own club, their own brand, or their own champion in sports. So there are many opportunities for both esports and sports to learn from each other and to actually be mutually beneficial for each other. So yeah, even if esports should not be considered as a sport for many of the people that are not very familiar with esports, there are many links and many criteria that links the both practice right now.
Now, unlike a lot of traditional sports, which generally grew up organically before becoming commercialized, these esports are based on pre-existing commercial products for the most part. Is there a danger that some of these esports might disappear over time according to the waning of gaming fashion?
Yeah, sure, and it has already happened in the past. Um, the main difference between sport and esports is the fact that in esports, the games, the virtual arena on which players are competing are games, and these video games are owned by commercially driven companies. They are called publishers, and these publishers, they own the regulatory process on this specific competitive scenes. So it means that when this publisher found that this competitive scenes doesn't bring them enough money, they can decide to shut down the servers, to shut down all the competitive circuits on these specific games. So yeah, we have seen in the past some games that were very popular among the players, but that won't have enough revenue for the publisher, that have been shut down. But the publisher, for example, one game who was very famous, was called Heroes of the Storm, and there was a massive number of players, clubs, and tournament organizers involved in the circuits, and they have been shut down due to the fact that it didn't earn enough revenues for the publisher.
Now, Saudi Arabia is the linchpin behind esports, funding and hosting the first two World Cups before it was moved to Paris this year. What is the attraction of esports for the Saudis?
Um, in an explicit way for this Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, gaming and esports is a part of their Vision 2030 plan, which aim to diversify the revenue sources for the kingdom and to be not to be less dependent of oil. They are trying to invest in gaming industries, esports industries, and sports industries to diversify their source of revenues, as I said, and because 70% of their population is age less than 30 years old. So this is very specific to this population and this demographic, but in a more implicit way, it's a fact of esports washing. So esports washing is the fact that the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia is using strategically esports and gaming to have a better reputation in the world and to avoid to be criticized for the fact that they are not following human rights. For example, the fact that the kingdom is the third country in the world in terms of number of execution in 2025, behind Iran and China. So it's in 2025, it was 356 execution in Saudi Arabia. It means one execution per day. So for the Esports World Cup, for example, when we are speaking about the performance of the players, of the clubs, of the teams that are participating, it will last 7 weeks, something like 50 days. It means that during these 50 days, it will be something like 50 people that will be executed in the kingdom. So it's a tool for soft power for the kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
Now, Saudi Arabia's public investment fund has ventured into other areas of sport, such as Newcastle United Football Club and Live Golf, before cooling its interest in those. Is there a risk the same might happen with esports?
Yeah, sure. Of course, the strategy that is for sports is the same that is for esports regarding the Saudi Arabia. As I said, this plan is called Vision 2030, and the idea for Saudi Arabia is really to use sports and esports as a tool of soft power. So it can be for values, it can be for Apple hosting big events, it can be to on the geopolitical aspect to share what they are, the values that they are trying to promote around the world. And to do that, they are buying all the vertical aspect of gaming and esports from the creator of the game. So publisher, they have invested massively in some of the major publishers of gaming and esports like Capcom, like Electronic Arts, like, I don't know, SNK and Tencent. They bought some tournament organizers and merged them. So they are controlling this, and they are controlling some teams. They are paying some teams around the world. They are trying to scout some of the best players. So they own everything in esports and gaming. And what we have seen in sports is the same for esports right now.
Thank you very much for that, Nicolas Besombes, Assistant Professor of Sports Sociology at the Institute of Sport and Health at Paris Cité University. And that's all
Thank
we
you.
have time for now.